Welcome to all the Mystelics commentary family out there, guys. Of course, I'm your boy Mystelics, and I'm sure you guys have heard about what is taking place at the Oscars. Of course, there was a call to have a boycott of the Oscars due to a lack of diversity. A lot of people are like, yo, this is an all-white Oscars this year once again. And of course, Jada Pinkett Smith was one of those who championed that move to have a boycott, and this is what she had to say.
I asked the question, have we now come to a new time and place where we recognize that we can no longer beg for the love, acknowledgement, or respect of any group? That maybe it's time that we recognize that if we love and respect and acknowledge ourselves in the way in which we are asking others to do, that is the place of true power.
No, I think a lot of people misunderstood what Jada Pinkett Smith was saying. She wasn't dissing the Oscars in any way, shape, or form. She was basically saying that if we always have to go to them to recognize our skills and abilities, instead of they doing it and seeing the contributions that we made to the movie arena, maybe we should go and start our own freaking thing. Unlike Snoop Dogg, who had a couple words, interesting words to say.
So Jada, this is Snoop. I love you, appreciate you, what you said is so true. I'm going to say it for you the way you really should have said it. The Oscars, the Grammys. And
Snoop Dogg clearly doesn't give a flying monkey about what people have to say about what he has to say. Of course, he's pulling a Donald Trump on everybody by remaining politically not correct. And of course, he was asked to apologize, and this is what he said in response.
I'm so wrong for what man, that's what I'm not going to do. I could give a
Let's face it, guys, you do have to give it up for Snoop Dogg for actually showing how he really feels about the whole vibe surrounding the Oscars and showing how angry it makes him feel to show the lack of diversity that is taking place at the Oscars. He wasn't the only one. Spike Lee also went in on that as well and calling for a boycott, even though he himself had to receive an honorary Oscar award, and he's like, yo, I ain't going for that shit. I will go for that some other time, wherever that is. And of course, George Clooney also had an Oscar so white outcry about the whole thing in an interview. And of course, the very host of the show, Chris Rock, also called the Oscars the White BET Awards. Interesting, isn't it? And of course, Stacy Dash also weighed in on that as well. She had a lot to say, and a lot of people were angry based on what she said. She said so much shit that people wanted to trade her for El Chapo. Interesting. She said stuff like forgetting Black History Month was a lot of bullshit, and forgetting BET. The same set of things that kind of gave her an edge in the career choice that she chose. She's saying to throw away this thing. So this girl clearly doesn't think properly, and I think, yeah, trade her for El Chapo. Of course, Anne Viva also had to weigh in on that as well, and this is what she had to say.
Somebody who has made their living and made millions and millions of dollars from the very people that you're talking about boycotting just because you didn't get a nomination, just because you didn't win. That is not the way life works, baby.
She is right. This is not the way life works, but I think she herself misunderstood what Jada was saying. Jada wasn't talking about herself, but she was talking about a generalistic approach to how things were at the Oscars. Of course, no black person was nominated, not just her. I think she had a lot of resentment back in the days. That's why she said all these things, and she had it bottled up. So she decided that would be the best time for her to come and say these things.
I seem to remember at option time coming to you and saying, you know what, Will, you're the star of the show. Why don't we all get together? And with you, maybe we could get a little raise. Maybe the network, since, you know, the show is such a hit, and you being the star of the show, your influence would help us greatly, like they did on Friends.
However, I do agree with the last part of what she said.
You have a huge production company that you only produce your friends, your family, and yourself. So you are a part of Hollywood. You are a part of the system that is unfair.
You want everybody to come together when even in your own world, you are doing your own thing and have only your people involved in there. I think that should be a little more broader if you want to talk about having diversity. Anyways, Jada also had a response to that.
Serious issues that I think that we as people have to work together on. So I'm hoping that we can find ways to stand together in this instead of finding ways to fight each other.
Jada is so classical in how she does stuff, man. You have to give her props on that, definitely. And of course, we all know that Chris Rock is hosting, you know, that show. And this is what Jada had to say for Chris Rock.
Hey, Chris, I will not be at the Academy Awards, and I won't be watching. But I can't think of a better man to do the job at hand this year than you, my friend. Good luck.
They say if you stand for something, stand for something. If you don't stand for anything, you will fall for anything. Surely Tyrese Gibson also weighed in on that factor as well. And of course, I never knew that Tyrese became Darth Vader. Chris, I am your father and I forbid you to host the Oscars. Man, to hell with that. If I was Chris, I would still host the Oscars. I don't care what is going on. But you have to understand that the lack of diversity is right here. And of course, if he doesn't do it, then they're going to take somebody else. So of course, Chris, do your thing nonetheless. What good does that make? Isn't that creating more segregation at the same time? Of course, Whoopie Goldberg also sided with me on that, where she said
boycotting doesn't work, and it's also a slap in the face of Chris Rock. And I find that also wrong.
I also do agree with Whoopi where she said that if you really want to boycott, don't boycott the Oscars, boycott the movies instead. So I think what she was saying there is also correct. But guys, something I also found interesting about the whole thing, Cheryl Isaac, the president of the Oscars, is black. And there's still a problem with the lack of diversity. Somebody's not doing their job, guys. That's kind of weird to me, because you can't be black and then again people are still having complaints about the lack of diversity on all white Oscars. This is crazy. However, due to all what is taking place, she said that they're gonna have a review of the whole thing. Well, it is February 28th. The Oscars will be hosting, and I don't know how on earth they're gonna be doing that. So we have to see what is taking place. So guys, what do you think about the whole vibe surrounding the Oscars and everything in that? Do you think there is enough black movies to nominate Oscars for? Would you boycott the Oscars? Do you think there's racism going on? What do you think about the whole vibes that is taking place here? Anyways, guys, it's about Mystelics on a Mystelics commentary. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, of course, subscribe to the channel by clicking the link. I think it's over there. And of course, guys, let me know what you think about the whole video. If you like this video, please, share it with your friends and family. And of course, it's about Mystelics on a Mystelics commentary. I will see you guys in the next commentary video.